So, what would have been the reason behind coming up with such a law? Why such an uh, exceptional laws for Muslims? Why did they need a Waqf Act to manage Waqf properties? Aren't we a secular country? Aren't we a country that was established on the principles of equality? Okay, because this goes against the very definition of equality. So one section of the population, one uh, community in the population gets to regulate their own properties, gets to regulate the affairs of that properties, gets to regulate the revenue that is generated from those properties, and use those revenues and use those proceeds to further their own cause. Okay, whereas the other faith, for the other faith, the non-converted pagans of Bharat, they have to remain at the mercy of the state to gather the funds, because majority of the temples are under the control of the state. Okay, clearly this is the violation of equality, and equality is one of the words that has been written down in the preamble because it is used as an adjective to describe the state of Bharat. Okay. Secondly, okay, let's not look at the first reason that I said, that it infringes upon the equality of the citizens. Okay, let's talk about how exactly are Waqf property regulated, or how are these properties regulated. Okay, so there will be committees, there are Waqf boards. Okay, so they are allowed to nominate their own members, they are allowed to have their own tribunals, they are allowed to have their chief executive officers. Okay, so in essence, if I had to give a short and a brief description about how this functions, okay, so what happens is there will be a gathering. All of them will be Muslims, by the way. All the members in the Waqf committee will be Muslims. They will gather in their own wisdom. They will decide, okay, if that plot, okay, that plot is a Waqf property. What happens next? They send you a notice that you are an encroacher. You're not allowed to reside on this land. Why? Because this is a Waqf property. They will decide, okay, now the onus is on you. You must prove to them that why should they let you stay over here on that land. Okay, so this is clear violation of right to equality. All right. Secondly, they have their own tribunals. They have their own tribunals that has the jurisdiction similar to a civil court. So they get to decide whether, if your argument, because you are supposed to prove, the burden of proof is on you. You are supposed to prove it to them. Why should they allow you to stay over there? So the court in which you will prove that will have their own judges.